Anyway.
Since we're talking about Spider-Man, I don't like superhero movies, but I have been reading a lot of comics lately, and I actually went to San Diego Comic Fest this weekend, which is like Comic-Con if Comic-Con was mixed with a tiny anime convention. It was really small, like in a hotel. The panels were like 5 people in every conversation. It was tiny. But I got the full run of Batman versus Predator.
Oh, yeah.
From 1991. And I didn't know Batman versus Predator was a real thing. I remember there was a Batman versus Predator fan film on the internet.
Yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. I brought that up to Derrick. I was like, that Batman versus Predator, if I remember correctly, was kind of one of the first big, like, well-done fan movies, like fan films, whatever, that was on the internet. Like, I remember downloading that from, like, Kazaa or something. And it was like, dude, check this out. Like, it was shot cool.
If you would have told me that this comic came out in, like, 2008, I would say I'm not fucking reading that. But 91 is like, okay, I'll give it a shot.
You know what?
Yeah.
I was reading it, and it did a really good job of capturing the vibe of Predator movies and the Tim Burton, like, Gotham, where, it was kind of like gothic and dark. There's an opening scene where the Predator attacks a guy in a junkyard who's watching a boxing fight, and it's like close-ups of him like opening beer and drinking it. And I got vibes of like a sci-fi horror movie where it's like, oh shit, something bad's gonna fucking happen to this guy. I know it, but he doesn't know it. It was pretty cool.
That's cool.
It was only 3 issues. The ending was super weak, I thought. I was along for the ride. Predator almost kills Batman. Batman has to get surgery. He's recovering for a long time. Everybody thinks he's dead. Predator is just murdering everybody in the city. Finally, Batman comes back to fight him, and then it like fizzled out. I was very
Batman
disappointed.
just covers himself in mud and goes, oh! And Alfred's like, shut up.
There were these classic Predator moments where Predator, sets off the bomb on his wrist, and Batman's like, what's that? And I was like, what's that? Didn't you ever see fucking Predator? That's the nuke on his arm, bro. Get the fuck out of there.
See the movie, dude.
Bruce missed that movie.
You want me to tell you how it ends, or?
Yeah, how does it fizzle
I mean,
out?
did people in the chat care? I mean, they've had 30 years.
91
to watch
guys.
it.
Nobody even knew it existed till I said it about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Batman kicks Predator's ass. Batman, he puts on this super armor, and he's like, all right, I'm going to fight Predator now. He's all like fucking armored up metal
Hell
Batman. Yeah. He's kicking Predator's ass. Predator can't do shit. They're fighting. They end up going through Wayne Manor. Predator's running through Wayne Manor. He escapes. Batman takes a baseball bat, follows Predator out into the woods, starts hitting him with a baseball bat. I'm like, yeah, fucking get him, Batman. Then the Predator ship like comes down from space, opens up, and like 10 more Predators walk out.
Oh,
no.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Bad news.
Bad news for Batman. But then they like hand the Predator who's been fighting Batman a sword, and he commits ritual suicide.
Oh, come on.
And then
that's lame.
And then they present the sword to Batman as a gift, and they fly off into space.
Whoa.
And Batman's like, they won't come back now that they know what lives in Gotham. What? And I was like, I liked it better when you were just kicking his ass.
Dude, Predators have ultimate respect for the Batman.
Whoa. Did not see that coming.
He's a warrior.
Yeah, I didn't
like
see it
them.
coming either, and I didn't want to see
The
it.
Predator has a lot of honor. It's crazy.
So
You're saying there's more.
there are 2 sequels, 2 separate runs, but that was the whole first one. I enjoyed it. I liked it, but a little disappointing with the ending.
Huh.
I want to see Batman versus Alien. I want to see Spider-Man versus Prometheus.
They probably have
Ooh,
those.
that'll be cool.
Like he goes, who made us?
It's all
I like
Sony.
these webs, but who made us?
I've not read a lot of comics in my life, like very few.
Yeah.
But I do this thing, and I feel like I'm doing. I know I'm doing it wrong, but I can't help myself. I open up the page and I look at the last thing on the bottom page just to see like where it goes.
What?
And I don't.
That's not going to tell you anything.
Well, I just like you can see things, and it's like, oh, I shouldn't have seen that yet. But it's like I can't like work my way there. I always go like right forward. Like I cheat.
What is wrong with you?
Sorry.
You do that
idiot.
when you read a book? You read the last sentence?
No, never in a book. Only in a comic. I don't know, guys.
Same thing.
I need to correct myself. I did forget that Joker Alien is a thing.
Oh.
That did happen.
Superman fought aliens.
Yeah, and I think it was involved in that. Maybe I don't know for sure, but all I know is NECA, the toy company that make figures and stuff. They've had a Joker alien figure in the works, and like they've been working out the legality for like 5 years, like to get that out. So it does exist.
I also picked up a bunch of these underground comics from the 70s. Like, I got a couple comics called Slow Death and Skull. I won't go too much into them, but damn, those are some fucked up comics. I was explaining to Garrett some of the stories in there, and it is like...
You said they were called underground comics? It makes sense. The name suits them.
Yeah, I've read a lot of horror comics, and I always find that they're a little bit tame. Like, oh, okay, and then oh wow, there was a zombie. Oh shit! But these were like borderline pornographic.
Oh,
but they're comic books. They're cartoony. They're supposed to be like funny, but then also just like really heinous and fucked up. Honestly,
right up your alley.
Mariel, it kind of reminds me of the art you used to do of like exploding girls. Like that happens a lot in these comics.
Good.
I miss those days. Mariel, where's the exploding girls?
What was that?
Can I tell everybody one of the stories from one of these horror comics?
Yeah, please.
If you want to hear, and I have to warn everybody, this is not for the kids at home.
Okay.
This one's fucked up. But one of the stories was about like a little person, a dwarf. But he's very freakish. He looks like, he's like horrific and freakish. And he fantasizes about this girl in the town that he really wants to have sex with. He works in a pharmacy. And one day she comes in with a new boyfriend. And the boyfriend like makes fun of him, beats him up. And his mind breaks. And he's like, I'm going to get revenge on the town. So he works in the pharmacy and he fills all the prescriptions with these serums that make everybody shrink. Because he's a dwarf and he wants to make them feel how he feels. So then he gives it to everybody in the town, and it's scenes of like guys taking a shit on the toilet, and then they start to shrink and they like fall into the toilet and like stupid stuff like that. It's all gonzo. They all get mad and they go back and they demand like, we need the antidote. And he says, I'll give you the antidote, but give me the girl. So they give him the girl, and she's like, what the fuck? And he takes the girl, and he's like, here are the antidotes, and he gives him a bunch of bottles. But then the story explains like, oh, but the antidotes weren't mixed properly. They don't make you grow all at once. It's for different parts of the body. But the people didn't know that. So they take the antidote, and then like their brains are exploding out of their heads, their eyes are exploding out of their faces, their guts are exploding out of their stomachs, different parts of their bodies are growing at different rates. Then it hard cuts to this dwarf having sex with this girl. It's not fun.
Her dad just dropped her off
This
like
is-
Belle's dad
This
in
sounds
Beauty and the Beast,
like
right?
a miserable experience.
Just gave her up?
It sounds like a nightmare.
Beauty and the Beast style. Gave her to the
gave her
Beast.
up.
Here you go, Beast. Here's my daughter. Have fun. The story ends. The like capper on this story is, oh, but he saved one antidote for himself, and he grabs a bottle labeled genitals and injects it into his dick. And the final panel is like this girl exploded with this. This dude has like a 30-foot dick now. This comic was written in 1970.
This is how a Predator versus Batman should have ended.
I'm reading this comic and I come to the last page and I can't help myself. I'm just like, holy shit. Like, I was not fucking ready for that.
Dude.
Did you just grab these at like that Comic-Con, like that convention?
I got them at Comic Fest. And these are all, the underground comics. These were coming out of like San Francisco, 1968 to 1973. These were not mainstream. This was like R. Crumb, Art Spiegelman before he did Mouse. Apparently, Leonardo DiCaprio's dad was an underground comic illustrator, George DiCaprio. Wow. I read a story that Leonardo DiCaprio used to sling these comics at like West Coast comic conventions. This shit's crazy. And it's like, I've read a bunch of Tales from the Crypts from the 50s, but there's nothing as fucking heinous as this stuff.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
This sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you listen to Murder Town. It can't be worse than what's in there.
Yeah, Sean's got fucked up podcast. Derek's got fucked up comics. Am I the only normal one here?
You are.
You're the one.
That was
you and your
Skull
soundtrack.
Comics issue number 2. If anybody out there wants to pick it up.
Yeah, damn. I wonder if there's like a trade. That actually sounds really cool.
I don't know. I mean, go to a comic convention and look for the underground comics.
I want to mention there's one comic series that's running right now monthly. My favorite comics team, Brubaker and Phillips, They have a new comic coming out called Criminal. They used to do one about 10 years ago. It's back, and it's a monthly like anthology series. Each one is just like a crime story set in the city, and everything has the vibe of like a 70s, like even like Taxi Driver or anything, just like gritty crime stuff. It's not superhero stuff. It's Image is putting out. It's monthly, so you go into any comic book shop, you can start getting these Criminals. It's awesome. So check that out if you want to check out comics and Skull Comics, which sounds rad. But Criminal's really good. Check it out.